Eversleigh is 21,000 acres of Mitchell grass downs and channels in the Hughenden region. The property is owned and managed by John and Janine Waring. The Warings normally run around 600 drought-master cows on Eversleigh, but numbers are back at present due to the recent drought. Wet season spelling is being trialled at Eversleigh in a project supported by Desert Channels. We visited John and Janine in late 2020 before the wet season and return after the wet.
What it's done is changed my mindset. When I first came home and took over ELAB and bought Eversleigh, I was very focused on turnover of cattle and getting numbers and females and having calves. And end of last year, when the market's pretty good, we had sold half our herd.
In February, John made use of an ageing John Shearer seeder and planted out Mitchell grass seed.
So that was the end of February, and it's now about the 8th of May, or a bit longer, it'll be 10th of May or something. So that's the response we're getting in those few months. I think it's seeded twice from what I saw, and then after we put the cattle in, a lot of the hoop Mitchell, probably a bit further out, it's laid over a little bit. Righto, this country here was just virgin dirt. There was not a blade of anything. Christmas time, Eversleigh didn't get a lot of rain. We're just behind everywhere. The grasshoppers came into this bit of country here. It knocked it round pretty bad. We had no cattle in here at that time. And then into February we had 2 inches of rain. We made sure there's no cattle in here. And then mid-March, so a fortnight after, there was 2 inches of rain. And this country, it had established Mitchell grass prior, and it came back tenfold. After that first 2 inches, we had a strike. So there's 2 different size plants here. And then the second 2 inch was a fortnight later, and then when we came back we saw another lot of new plants. So this fella here, that's one of the later ones. Rebecca Gunthrough is here, and we were digging around amongst them and establishing that that's actually from seed, not from an old plant. So we got that little fella there, and then you got ones like this one over here. It's a little bit bigger, and they're still very, very volatile around the base. This fella. And then the earlier ones went straight to seed. So that's one of the earlier plants. And there's another one just here. So it's only a little fella, but it's just gone straight to seed. So I just want to get that seed on the ground, because the object wasn't to grow a big heap of leaf, that's down the track. The object was to grow plants that can seed a hell of a lot more economical than I can, which looks like it's happening. And I just don't want the cattle in here while the plant is still so delicate. So just in this little area here, we've got one plant there, we've got a little fella here, and you've got another little fella there. That's an earlier one there with a bit of seed. Lady, get up. Panda bear.
As part of the project, DCQ supplied fencing materials to contain some of the channel country on Eversleigh.
And then they did some monitoring points. They also did some soil samples to see what grass seed would germinate in their tests. And then they've come back again now to monitor the growth of the 2 different plants.
The project continues at Eversleigh, and John Waring admits there is a cost of investment with reduced turnoff in the short term. But he looks to the future, convinced spelling country and reduced stocking numbers will pay off in the long term.
I can now see value in not having the numbers. There's value in growing the grass and giving it a bit of a spell rather than just have lots of numbers all the time. But it took a while to get that through my head.
Industry, government and Desert Channels Queensland support the grazing industry in managing for change and a sustainable future on the rangelands.